Hey friends, I just got off of a celebration call with one of my health clients who is doing phenomenally, and I'm all pumped up and excited. We got to celebrate him, and I just wanted to share some things. I told you guys in my Facebook story to remind me to share some stuff that I was exploring. I've been exploring and learning on comparative mentality. Most of what we're seeing right now, while we are social distancing, or maybe, you're not social distancing, maybe you're actually, out there in the heart of it, like a couple of my sisters are. But during this time, there's so much that is going into our brains through visual, stimulus like Facebook and things that we're seeing on TV and over the internet and through our social media, that it's real easy to take that comparative mentality that is almost innate and exponentially have it kind of blow up for you. So, hey Donnie, hope you're having a great day. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. Woo! It's hard. It's easy to lose track of the days. So I just kind of wanted to get on here and do my little, how I talk as my brain's thinking. If I keep it in my head, then it'll just keep twirling and twirling in there. So I like to get it out there and just hopefully it helps somebody out there. So, hey Nancy. So, hey Bethy. So today I'm talking about comparative mentality. I was on a coach training earlier this week, a couple evenings ago, and they were talking about how it's so important to celebrate you. I'm always telling my daughters from the time they were little, even now with my oldest, I call her my ace, who is, she's a mom of 3 and a beautiful wife, and she's just a phenomenal person. I'm always telling them, be you. Be beautifully you, because you are beautiful in every form that you are in, whether you are on a journey to better yourself, or whether you're actually sliding back to, somewhere where you really don't want to be. Whoever you are and wherever you are in your life, you're right where you need to be for whatever purpose that is. It may be a growth moment for you, and you're in that growth, momentum where you can move towards where you want to be, but you really have to celebrate where you are now. And so I wanted to talk to everybody about comparative mentality. And a lot of this is for me because I just talk out loud and it helps me. So thank you for humoring me. All right, so comparison is the death of joy. When we start comparing ourselves to our past self, so what's something typical people do? Gosh, I wish I looked like I did in high school. If I was that thin now, I wouldn't be complaining. I thought I was fat then. You hear it, you think it, people who say it. But if you're comparing yourself to your past self, or you're comparing yourself to your neighbor, or you're comparing yourself to somebody in your profession, or somebody you see on TV, that is the death of your joy. It is truly the death of your joy. And it's totally different from being inspired. You can be inspired, but when you're comparing yourself, it's the death of your joy. Doing that actually breeds feelings of envy, low self-confidence, and can start you on that path to depression, which nobody wants to be in. So it's just not a good thing. It also compromises our ability to trust others. When we're comparing ourselves to other people or to our previous self, then, when we see those people, we are, our view is somewhat jaded of them. We're consistently either in that envy mode, or wishing we could be like them, or being glad that we're not like them. It can go either way. And so it's just a lot of negative energy that you don't need to spend your time in. So get yourself out of that negative space. And so here's some tips for doing that. Water your own grass. The grass is not always greener. Very rarely is the grass greener. And the older you get, the more you realize that through trial and error. So water your own grass as much and as well as you can. Accept where you are and celebrate it. If you want to go further, if you want to be pulled by this future self that you have in mind, that's fantastic. Set those goals, turn those dreams into reality, but you're going to have better success at doing that if you celebrate where you are now. Truly love where you are now. Look for the positives in every aspect of who you are, whether that be physical, whether that be mental. Just truly celebrate you. I think that if we all start our day celebrating ourselves, we would have such better days, such better days. Love your past. You know, a lot of people, everybody, very, very many of us, we look at our past and we think, gosh, if only I could do that over, or, oh, I'm so embarrassed of that, or, oh, it's just really, really hard to think about that time, you know? Well, first off, when you think about your time, your past, depending on what you're thinking about, it can be much easier to take those moments that were negative and really blow them out of proportion, and to not really remember those positive moments. So focus on remembering those positive moments. Really take those negative moments and think to yourself, wow, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have the experience to be where I am now to help other people go through that, or to help myself not have to go through that again. So accepting where you are and celebrating it every single day, and then love your past. That past was a space of growth for you. And you have wisdom now. You know, when you start getting these little gray hairs and stuff, I call it glitter. You have wisdom from having gone through those growth moments and experienced those things, no matter how tragic they were. Detox from social media. And that doesn't mean you have to turn it off. That just means change the way you utilize it. Are you just scrolling through social media wishing that your life was better like everybody else out there? Because a lot of people don't put their real life on social media. Raise your hand if you agree. So you can detox from social media, still stay engaged in social media, but use it for a positive effect. Use it to go out there and build others. You know, make more of a habit of, rather than pressing like or pressing the heart button, you're going to go in and you're going to leave a positive comment for that person, or, you know, give them some honest feedback in a very constructive way, but use it as a positive force so that social media is not bringing you down. And then think about your life as a movie. We just finished watching Jane the Virgin, and it's a cute show. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And of course, Jules did not watch every part, but it was such a neat show to watch, because it's like they're all about the telenovelas, which are like the Mexican soap operas. And this show is kind of like a telenovela come to life, starting from a book into, you know, a show or a movie or whatever. And it's really neat because she continues to rewrite it. And that's what we can do with our life. Our life is not over. You're in the middle of your story. You know, nobody knows when your life's going to end. So nobody knows when your movie's going to end. And even beyond there, it may never end. So your story is not yet over, and you have all of the power to write it and to continue writing it and to rewrite it. You can go in there and you can create, and you really do hold that power. It is all yours. And if you don't believe me, message me, comment under here, whatever you need to do, reach out to me, and I will tell you every day that you hold that power. I have realized that more than ever this year. Be grateful for what you have right now. That goes right back to accepting where you are and celebrating it. But it takes it further, because having that grateful heart for everything that you have and every moment that you are in right now, and truly loving what you have, is huge. You know, y'all hear me all the time talking about, I wish I lived in Hawaii, or, oh, I miss Hawaii, or, oh, I'm so glad to be in Hawaii, Hawaii this, Hawaii that, right? It's like Hawaii overload. I feel like I'm my true self when I'm there, and I love that place. But is it feasible for me to live there? No. My kids need a great education, and they need the stimulus of their friends and their family that are nearby. So yeah, it's a great vacation place, but it's not ideal for us to be living there. And what do we have here? We have this amazing, I call it an estate because it makes me feel good to say that, but we have this amazing place we call Sunnyside, which is our forever home that we created 5 years ago. And we have this beautiful lake view and this, just gorgeous scenery, and our dogs can run free in the have plenty of room and the kids can run and play. We have a great community of people with kids that get to play outside with each other. You know, it's fairly safe like most places. There's so much to celebrate and be grateful for here. We have a roof over our heads. You know, I'm grateful that I'm still able to work right now during everything that's going on. So be grateful and really practice that grateful heart until it becomes a daily habit for you, because you can always, even in the midst of tragedy, you can always find something to be grateful for, and that really helps lift you. Crush fear and lead from your hopes of gain and your future self. So basically, you don't want to ever be led by fear. And a lot of people operate with this fear mentality. The TV shows and a lot of people that are feeding us information can use a fear mentality to, motivate certain types of behavior. And you really have to get out of that fear and out of that worry, because again, that's negative space in your head. That's negative space in your life. Who has the energy for negativity, right? So lead from a positive place. Lead from the hope for gain rather than the fear of failure, or the fear of pain, or the fear of hurt. You want to make sure that you're leading from what you have to gain. You're moving forward based on what you're hoping to gain, not what you're afraid you might lose. Because being afraid you're going to lose something and leading from fear is like setting your hair on fire. You know, when you get that anxiety where it feels like your hair is standing up and it feels like needles in your head, that's leading from fear. And it can stop you in your tracks. I know this so well because most of my life I've been in a production-focused role in my job. And in a production-focused role with my job, everything starts back at zero every single month at the beginning of the month. Well, if I'm not able to pay my bills and I'm not able to do this and I'm not able to do that, and I'm thinking about all of that, like I have to do this or I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, then I'm operating from fear of failure. But if I'm thinking about, wow, I'm going to be able to do this and I'm going to be able to do that and I'm going to be able to crush these goals, and I'm not just going to be able to pay my bills, but I'm going to be able to take the girls to Hawaii, and I'm thinking from a hope for gain mindset, man, I am not only hitting those goals, I am killing them as often as I possibly can. So that's a great mentality to have. Realize you are beautifully imperfect. Who here is perfect? Raise your hand. No hands. No hands raising, because nobody's perfect. Even if you think you're perfect, you're not perfect. We are all beautifully imperfect, and that is what makes us unique. And that is why you don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You're comparing yourself to somebody who has already had part of their story written, and it is not the same story that you have. I don't care how similar it is not the same story that you have. So get out of that comparative mentality. Use these tips for thinking in more of a positive mindset, and get out there and crush some dreams. Make them reality. I hope this helped everyone today. It sure got me going. All right, y'all. Love you. Stay safe.